Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I want to explain to you about morphology. But before that, let me introduce myself first. My name is baiq Audini. I'm from class TC. And in this video, I will present my little project, the morphology of the Sasak language. So this project was made to fulfill the requirement from the middle test in the English language education program at the University of Mataram. Sasak is the native language spoken by most people on Lombok Island in Indonesia. It belongs to the Austronesian language family and is closely related to Balinese and Indonesia. Even though these languages share similarities, Sasak has its own unique characteristic in pronunciations, vocabulary, and especially in the word formations or morphology. Morphology, as we know, is the study of how words are formed and how their meaning change. In this project, I focus on several morphological processes in Sasak, such as affixation, reduplications, compounding, clitications, and borrowing. The goal of this study is to explore how words in Sasak are formed and how different morphological process change meaning or create a new word. Data collections and morpheme analysis. So to start this project, I collected 25 Sasak words that are commonly used in daily communications. The data came directly from native speaker and daily use because many Sasak words are still passed down orally, not through written sources. For example, words like halo means hello, tampiasih means thank you, and bale means house. After collecting the data, I selected 10 words for deeper analysis. Each word was broken into smaller parts called morphemes, which are the smallest unit of the meaning in a language. For instance, in the word aranku, arans means name and ku means my. Here, aranku is a free morpheme because it can stand alone, while ku is a bound morpheme because it must attach to a word. This analysis helps us understand how the Sasak language builds meaning through combinations. So, the next is inflectional morphology in Sasak. Inflectional morphology in Sasak does not really exist in the same way as in English. So in English we have inflectional endings like as or it to show tense, number, or agreement. For example, walk, walks, and walked. But in Sasak, words do not change their form to express two grammatical meanings. So instead, Sasak is an analytic language, which means it uses separated words or particles instead of inflectional endings. For example, to show time, Sasak speaker use adverbs such as dini meaning now and kemalam meaning yesterday. To express plural meaning, Sasak often use reduplication such as bale meaning houses. However, reduplication is not considered inflectional. It is more lexical. So the only similar elements are clitics, like ku meaning my and mu meaning your. These clitics show possessions but do not function as a true inflectional morpheme. So Sasak has no real inflection morphology. Grammatical relations such as tense, number, and possessions are expressed through context, effort, or clitics, not by changing the word form itself. And the next is derivational morphology in Sasak. So let's move to derivational, which is a very productive in Sasak. Derivational morphology refers to the process of forming new word by adding affix to base form. So these affixes often change the word class or meaning. For example, one clear case is pegawaian, which came from pe plus gawe plus an. The word gawe means to make or to do, while pegawaian means a work or occupation. So this is changed from verb to noun. There are many other examples such as petulisan, pelaku, ngagawe, betani, and so on. But if you want to see the complete list, you can check it in my paper. So overall, derivations in Sasak show how the language forms new word through prefix, suffix, and circumfix like pe, an, and ke, an. It proves that even though Sasak does not have invocation morphology, it still has a strong and creative word formation system. So the next is morphological process in Sasak. So based on the analysis, Sasak has several main morphological process. The first one is affixations, adding prefix or suffix to a word. For example, n plus dara becomes ndara, which means does not exist. And the next is reduplications, repeating a word to show plurality or repetitions. For example, bale-bale means houses. And the next is compounding, combining two free morphemes like tampi plus asi to form tampiasi, meaning thank you. And the next is clitizations, attaching clitics like ku or mu to show possessions. And the next is borrowing, taking a word from other languages such as Indonesian or Malay like hello. And the next is conversions, using a word in a new grammatical functions without adding an suffix. For example, bontet can be used as a noun, the short one. Among these, reduplication and clitizations are the most productive and are widely used in the daily Sasak speech. And the next is comparative reflections. Now let's compare Sasak morphology with English. Both languages use morphology to create meaning, but they do it differently. In English, inflection is very common. Verb change from for tense and agreement like walk, walks, and walked. In contrast, Sasak verb do not inflect for tense. Instead, Sasak relies on context and time at verb, such as dini now or kemarin yesterday. Another big difference is reduplication. Sasak uses reduplication to show plural or emphasize, while English rarely does. English reduplication is usually expressive only, like bye-bye. So both languages use affixations and compounding, but with different affix type. Sasak also uses clitics more frequently, such as aranku for my name, while English uses possessive as in John's book. So we can say that Sasak is more analytic and agglutinative, while English is more inflectional and synthetic. So the next is challenge and conclusion. So during this project, I faced several challenges. For example, Sasak has many dialect variations. Some words are pronounced differently in different areas, like ao or ngi for yes. Also, the Sasak spelling system is not standardized. Since most people still use it orally. Another challenge is that some words have idiomatic meaning, so their morphemes cannot be separated easily. For example, tampiasi or padu-padu. Despite this challenge, this project helped me understand how rich and flexible the Sasak language is. To conclude, the Sasak language has a creative and productive morphological system. Even though it doesn't have inflectional morphology, it uses derivations, reduplications, compounding, and clitizations. Effectively, to form a new word and express meaning, studying Sasak morphology is not only about understanding grammar, but also about appreciating the linguistic and cultural identity of the Sasak people. So I think that's all for my video explanation today. I hope you guys understand. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.